It's absolutely chucking it down. Outside, kind of need it though, don't we? We've had quite a long dry summer. Anyway, so the weather's taken a bit of a turn. It's getting a bit cooler. So I think it's the start of the season where we're going to start making those comforting, warming meals. And that is what we're going to do today. But we're going to go back to school. And I'm sure many of you out there have some terrible memories of school dinners, as do I. But there was one dish that I really loved. I used to have it every week, and it was chicken fricassee. So I thought today I'd pay homage to that humble classic, and we're going to do our own. It's going to be poshed up a bit, of course, but yeah, let's crack on. Chicken fricassee, let's get it done. Now I've got some diced chicken breast here. You could use like thigh, drumsticks, whatever you like. But this is what I had in the fridge. And it's 2 sort of medium-sized chicken breasts, just cut up into chunks, about sort of yay big. I'm just going to move that to one side for a second because we need to slice up some carrot and onion. And obviously all the ingredients will be listed below in the video description, as always. So I'm going to need an onion, sort of largish one like that. And I want a couple of carrots, so that one there, and then a smallish one there. So again, you want about that much carrot. We're going to peel this onion, which is not one of my favourite jobs, as we all know. And I'm going to use about half of that onion because it's quite a large one. No need to be too fussy with it. So here we go, and then just dice it up like so. Until you got, well, diced onion. There you go. The carrots, of course, just going to peel them. I'm just going to top and tail these, and then simply you just want to dice the carrots a little bit bigger than the onion. So just down the middle, into rough kind of battens, and then just dice those up until you've got a diced carrot. Looks like that, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to carry on with that because it's boring. You don't want to see this, do you? And then the final thing to dice is I've got a peeled garlic clove here. And I'm just going to roughly chop that up into little chunks. Okay, so that's all diced and chopped. Everything's ready to go. So what we need to do now is brown the chicken. So I've got my trusty pot here. Just going to take the lid off. I'm going to add a little bit of oil. Just normal sunflower veg oil is absolutely fine. I'm going to put this onto like a medium heat, so probably like number 5. And as the oil's heating up, we'll go in with our chicken. Oh, it's not actually nowhere near hot enough yet, but never mind. And at this stage, all we're looking for is colour on the chicken. We're not looking to cook the chicken all the way through, because we're going to finish that off in the stew, in the fricassee rather. But so just spend a couple of minutes just getting that chicken nice and golden brown. Okay, so once we've got some colour on that chicken, I've turned the heat down to low. I'm just going to take this chicken out, pop it to one side into a bowl, and then keeping it on a low heat, I'm going to go straight in with our carrots and the onion, not the garlic, not yet. And just keep it on a low heat. We're going to saute these off just for a few minutes, and by doing this, you extract the sweetness from the carrots and onion. It just kind of, you know, builds layers of flavour. There's a phrase that I use that I borrowed from Marco Pierre White, and that is that cooking well is just lots of little steps done right. And it's true. Right, it's been almost 10 minutes, so what I'm going to do now is add the garlic. And the reason we don't add the garlic before is because obviously we don't want that to burn. So just add it in now. Okay, give that another 30 seconds or so. I'm going to turn the heat up just a touch. And then we're going to add some flour and butter. This is going to thicken our casserole fricassee thingamajig. I'm going to add a tablespoon of flour. Well, it's a dessert spoon, but you don't need to be too fussy with measurements with this. It's a very simple rustic dish, this. Okay, and then about the same amount of butter, wedge that in. And just cook it out for about a minute or so, because as I've said previously, if you don't, what's going to happen is that you're going to get that raw flour taste in your dish, that chalkiness, and you don't want that because it tastes like shit. And once we've cooked that out, we're going to add some white wine, just one that you'd drink. We're going to add a good glassful. And I've turned the heat up a little bit because we need to reduce that liquid down. You know, by about half-ish. You know, it's a bit hard to sort of tell with all the flour and butter and everything in there. But if you don't do that, the dish is going to taste too winey, too alcoholic. And once that wine's been absorbed, we're going to start adding the stock. I've got 500 ml here. You might not need all of it. It just kind of depends on how thick you like your fricassee. But I'm going to go in with a bit to start with. Again, much like you're making a roux basically, just go in with a bit at a time. And that stock and that wine will help lift off all the fond from the bottom of the pan, which is all flavour, isn't it? I'm going to turn that down again to about a 3. I think I'm going to add a bit more stock. So I've got a little bit of stock left in case I need to adjust it as I go. And you've noticed as well, I haven't added any salt yet because I'm I'm going to add salt at the end because the stock's going to be salty. So, you know, we'll adjust that as we go. But I'm going to add some pepper. And then I'm just going to pop a lid on that and then turn it right down to like a number 2, I think. And then just leave that to gently simmer for about, I'd say about 10 minutes, till the carrots and onions are nice and soft and cooked through. And then we'll add all the other bits and bobs, because you don't want to bite into a raw carrot in your fricassee, do you? So give that about 10 minutes. I'm probably going to peel some spuds, because I'm going to have mine with some mash. You can have it with whatever you bloody well like, can't you? So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, right, so I think my carrots are nicely cooked. I've been cooking this down for about 15 minutes or so. Have a little look. Oh, shit.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because...
Yes, they're not far off at all. So I'm going to give that a bit of a stir. I'm going to add a little bit more stock. I'll probably add the rest of that actually. And then I'm going to add my chicken back in, all those juices as well. And the reason we didn't add the chicken in earlier is because we don't want to overcook it. If you overcook it, it's going to be dry and horrible, isn't it? And I'm now going to add some aromats. Okay, some herbs. I've got some tarragon here, so I'm just going to pick off the leaves and just, you know, put those in. Be careful with tarragon because you can add too much and it can overpower. It's a very, very strong herb, but it goes really well with chicken. So I'm going to add a few bits of tarragon. I'm going to add a little squeeze of lemon juice, not too much. I'd say about a quarter. This is just going to add a little bit of brightness, a bit of acidity. And then just for a bit of heat and a bit of body, we're going to add some wholegrain mustard. So good heaped teaspoon of that. And then to really kind of enhance that richness, we're going to add some double cream. Okay, I'd say about 150 ml. But again, this is one of those recipes you can kind of eyeball it, you know? And then just pop the lid back on again and give that another like 10 minutes or so, just until that chicken is nicely cooked through. But not, you know, not overdone. We don't want dry chicken, do we? Okay, so we're almost there. That chicken's cooked through. I have turned the heat up just a touch because I want to reduce that sauce just a little bit more. But I'm just going to give it a quick taste, see if it needs any salt. Which it does. Could do with a touch more salt. And that's what it's about, guys. Just taste as you go with all your food, really. See if it needs anything extra. Because you can always add, but you can't take away. And I think it could do with just a touch more lemon juice. And go in with another quarter. And then just for like the last minute or so of cooking, I'm going to add a good handful of frozen peas. Right, so it's been about a minute or so. So the last thing I'm going to add is just a little bit of freshly chopped parsley. There we go. And there's no kind of dainty way to serve this, is there? You just kind of pile on your mash. If you don't know how to make mashed potato or you want my recipe, I will put that up on the screen now. So you can go and watch that after you've watched this video. And then some of our delicious, warming, comforting fricassee on top. And there you have your school dinner-ish chicken fricassee. Bit poshed up, it's going to be delicious. And there's only one way to eat this, and that's with a spoon. Get a bit of everything and get it in your gob. So there you have it, my school dinner-ish chicken fricassee. You can put like mushrooms in it, but they are the food of the devil and I hate them, so you do you. But listen, I'm going to shoot off because I'm going to finish the rest of that because that's my lunch. And I'll see your gorgeous faces next time. Ta-ra for now.